Seojun's world stopped the moment he saw the little boy clutching a worn teddy bear in the park. Same almond eyes, same stubborn chin, same birthmark behind the left ear. 5 years ago, he'd walked away from love. Now, love was staring back at him, in the face of a son he never knew existed. Before we dive into this emotional journey, if you love dramatic romance stories with unexpected twists and second chances, smash that like button, drop a comment telling me what you think Seojun should do when he discovers the truth, and subscribe so you never miss these heart-wrenching tales. Now, let's begin. Seojun Kim stood at the floor-to-ceiling window of his penthouse, the Seoul skyline glittering beneath him like conquered territory. The dragon tattoo coiling up his neck seemed to pulse in the dim light as he swirled whiskey in his crystal glass. He was untouchable now. Feared, respected, powerful. Everything he'd sacrificed for. Yet every night her face haunted him. Zara. The woman with eyes like melted chocolate and a smile that once made him believe he could be more than just violence and blood. The woman he'd abandoned 5 years ago when his uncle gave him an ultimatum. The Empire or her? He'd chosen wrong. Boss, the shipment arrives at midnight. His lieutenant's voice crackled through the phone, snapping him back to reality. Handle it, Seojun said coldly, ending the call. Emotions were weaknesses he couldn't afford. 3,000 miles away in a cramped Chicago apartment, Zara hummed softly as she braided her son's hair. 4-year-old Minho giggled, clutching his teddy bear, the only thing Seojun had ever given him, though the boy didn't know it. Mama, why don't I have a daddy like other kids? Minho's innocent question pierced her heart like it did every time. Zara's hands trembled slightly. Baby, you have me. Isn't that enough? You're the best, Mama. Minho threw his small arms around her neck. But sometimes I wonder what he looks like. Exactly like you, Zara thought, blinking back tears. The same sharp jawline, the same intensity in those almond eyes, even the same small birthmark behind his left ear. Minho was Seojun's carbon copy, and every day was a beautiful, painful reminder of the man who'd shattered her. He had to go away, baby, but he would have loved you. I know he would have. The lie tasted bitter. Seojun never knew she was pregnant. He'd walked away before she could tell him, choosing his criminal empire over their future. She'd fled to America, built a new life from broken pieces, and raised their son alone. Zara kissed Minho's forehead. Come on, let's get you to bed. Big day at the park tomorrow. As she tucked him in, she whispered a prayer she'd repeated for 5 years. Keep us hidden. Keep us safe. Keep his heart from ever finding what he threw away. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. The Chicago park was alive with autumn colors, golden leaves dancing in the crisp air as children's. Laughter filled the playground. Seojun sat on a bench, his black suit drawing stares, his expression unreadable behind designer sunglasses. He was in America for a weapons deal, not leisure, but his associate was late. Then he saw him. A little boy no more than 4 chasing a soccer ball with unbridled joy. Black hair falling across his forehead, small hands pumping with determination. And when he turned, Seojun's breath caught. No. Impossible. The boy's face was his own, reflected across time. Every feature, every expression, even the way his eyebrows furrowed in concentration. It was like staring into a mirror that showed his childhood self. Boy stumbled, and Seojun was on his feet before conscious thought, moving toward him with predatory grace. But someone else got there first. Minho, baby, are you okay? That voice. That voice. Zara appeared, scooping the boy into her arms, her natural curls wild in the wind, her brown skin glowing in the sunlight. She was more beautiful than he remembered. Motherhood had softened her edges, but strengthened something deeper in her eyes. She hadn't seen him yet. Seojun stood frozen, 15 feet away, watching the woman he destroyed gently check her son for injuries. Her son. No, their son. Mama, I'm fine. I'm a big boy, Minho protested, wriggling free. You're my big boy, Zara laughed, that melodic sound Seojun heard in his dreams. Then Minho's teddy bear slipped from his grasp, rolling directly towards Seojun's feet. Everything moved in slow motion. Minho ran toward him. Zara's head snapped up. Their eyes met. The color drained from her face. No, she whispered, the words strangled. No, no, no. Seojun picked up the teddy bear, the same one he'd won for her at a carnival in Seoul 6 years ago, now worn and loved. His hands shook as he knelt to Minho's level. The boy looked up at him with his own eyes. That's Mr. Cuddles. Thank you, mister. Minho, come here now. Zara's voice cracked with barely controlled panic, but Seojun couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The birthmark, behind Minho's left ear, identical to his own, the same one his father had and his grandfather. How old is he? Seojun's voice came out rough, dangerous. Zara grabbed Minho's hand, pulling him back. You don't get to ask me anything. Zara, you left. Her voice broke. You don't get to show up now. What would you do if you were Seojun right now? Drop a comment below Mama's friend. Minho chirped innocently, waving at the terrifying man whose expression had shifted from shock to something darker. Hunger, desperation, rage, all battling for dominance. We're leaving, Zara said firmly, lifting Minho into her arms despite his protests. Seojun stepped forward, his hand reaching out. Wait, please, stay away from us. Her voice was ice over fire. You made your choice 5 years ago. I didn't know. And whose fault is that? Zara's eyes blazed. You walked away, Seojun. You chose your empire. Over us. Over me. I don't owe you anything. That's my son. The words came out raw, possessive. No. Zara's grip on Minho tightened. He's my son. You're just a stranger who shares his DNA. Minho's little face crumpled in confusion. Mama, why are you crying? Seojun's heart cracked at the sight of tears streaming down Zara's face. He'd made her cry before. The night he told her they were done, that his family's business came first. He'd watched her break and still walked away. I'm okay, baby, Zara whispered, kissing Minho's forehead. Let's go home. Zara, please. But she was already walking away, moving fast through the park. Seojun followed, his long strides easily keeping pace. I'm not going anywhere, he said quietly, dangerously. That boy is mine. I can see it. I feel it. Zara spun around, eyes flashing. You feel it? You feel it? Where were those feelings when I was throwing up every morning alone? Where were they when I gave birth with no one holding my hand? Where were they when I worked 3 jobs to keep him fed while you were building your empire on blood and lies? Each word was a knife, and Seojun took every strike. I know I failed you. I know I don't deserve... You're right, you don't. Zara's voice dropped to a lethal whisper. So do us both a favor and disappear. Again. You're good at that. She turned and kept walking, but Seojun's voice stopped her cold. I'm staying in Chicago for 2 weeks. The Langham Hotel, penthouse suite. He paused, his tone softening to something almost broken. If you want child support, legal arrangements, anything, I'll give you everything. But Zara, I need to know him. Please don't take that from me. Zara didn't turn around. You took yourself from him the day you left me. She disappeared into the crowd, leaving Seojun standing alone in the park where his entire world had just been rewritten. For 3 days, Seojun became a ghost. He followed them, not creeping in shadows, but present, at the grocery store, at Minho's preschool pickup, at the small library where Zara worked part-time shelving books. He never approached, just watched, memorizing. The way Minho laughed, head thrown back, Pure joy. The way Zara's face softened when she looked at their son, despite the exhaustion in her eyes. The way they moved together, a unit forged in his absence. On the fourth day, Zara confronted him in the library parking lot. "This is harassment," she hissed, checking to make sure Minho was still inside with the children's librarian. "This is fatherhood," Seojun countered, his jaw tight. "Even if I'm doing it from a distance." "You're stalking us." "I'm learning about my son. There's a difference." Zara's laugh was bitter. "You want to learn about him? Fine. He loves dinosaurs, especially T-Rex. His favorite color is blue. He's terrified of thunder, but won't admit it because he wants to be brave like Mama. He has your stubbornness, your temper when things don't go his way, and her voice cracked. Your exact smile. Happy now?" Seojun stepped closer, his voice dropping. "No, I won't be happy until I can hear those things from him. Until I can read him bedtime stories. Until I can—" "You can't just waltz back in and play daddy?" Zara's composure shattered. "Do you know what it'll do to him when you leave again? When your empire calls and you choose it over him like you chose it over me?" "I won't leave." "You're a mafia boss, Seojun. Your life is violence and danger. You think I want that near my son?" "Our son." The possessive claim hung between them, heavy with implications. Before Zara could respond, Minho burst through the library doors. "Mama, Miss Jen read us a story about dragons and—" He stopped, recognizing Seojun. "Oh, it's Mr. Parkman." Seojun's eyebrows rose. "You're always in the park watching us," Minho explained matter-of-factly. "I named you." Zara's face flushed with embarrassment and anger, but Seojun knelt to Minho's level, his expression gentler than Zara had ever seen it. "Hi, Minho. My name is actually Seojun." "That's a cool name. Do you like dragons? I love dragons." Seojun's hand unconsciously went to his neck, where his dragon tattoo was hidden beneath his collar. "I do, very much." "Mama, can Mr. Seojun have dinner with us?" Zara's heart stopped. Seojun's eyes met hers, pleading, desperate, hopeful. "Please," he mouthed silently. Against every instinct screaming at her to refuse, Zara heard herself say, "Just dinner, that's all." Zara's apartment was small but warm, filled with Minho's artwork, family photos, all without Seojun, and the scent of her cooking. Seojun stood in the doorway, this fortress of wealth and power suddenly feeling out of place in this humble space built on love. "Shoes off," Zara said tersely, moving to the kitchen. Minho grabbed Seojun's hand with surprising trust. "Come see my room. I have 17 dinosaurs." As Minho showed him each toy with meticulous detail, Seojun's throat tightened. This should have been his life. These should have been his memories. "This one's my favorite," Minho said, holding up a small T-Rex. "Mama says he's strong like me." "Your mama's right," Seojun managed. "You are strong." "Mama says my daddy was strong too, but he had to go away." Seojun's hands clenched. "Minho? What else did Mama say about your daddy?" "That he would have loved me if he knew me. That sometimes grown-ups make mistakes." Minho's innocent eyes searched his face. "Do you think my daddy misses me?" The question destroyed him. "I know he does," Seojun whispered, his voice breaking. "Every single day." "Dinner's ready," Zara called, her tone carefully neutral. At the small table, they ate in heavy silence until Minho began chattering about preschool, his words filling the awkward gaps. Seojun watched Zara. The way she encouraged Minho, praised him, loved him with every gesture. After Minho went to brush his teeth, the silence returned, heavier now. "Why did you really leave?" Zara asked quietly, not looking at him. The truth this time. Seojun leaned back, his jaw working. "My uncle, he found out about us." Said you were a weakness, a distraction. That if I wanted to inherit the family business, I had to prove my loyalty. By abandoning me. By cutting ties with anything that made me vulnerable. Seojun's voice turned harsh. He gave me an ultimatum. The Empire or you. I was young, stupid, and convinced power would fill the emptiness. I was wrong. Zara's laugh was hollow. Do you know what I did when you left? I cried for 2 days straight. Then I threw up. I thought it was heartbreak. Turned out I was pregnant. Why didn't you tell me? Tell you? Her voice rose before she caught herself, mindful of Minho nearby. You made it clear I meant nothing. Why would I trap you with a child you didn't want? Why would I subject my baby to a father who might resent him? I would never. You resented me enough to leave. That was all I needed to know. Do you think Zara should forgive him, or is some betrayal too deep? Comment your thoughts. The truth settled between them like broken glass. Sharp, painful, irreparable. Over the next week, Seojun returned every evening, always bringing something, groceries, toys for Minho, flowers for Zara that she pointedly left on the counter untouched. But he kept coming, and slowly, carefully, the walls began to crack. One night, Minho had a nightmare. Zara was in the shower, and Seojun, staying late to help fix a broken cabinet, heard the crying. He went to Minho's room without thinking. Hey, little warrior, he said softly, sitting on the edge of the small bed. Bad dream? Minho nodded, tears streaming down his face. There was a monster, and Mama was gone, and I was all alone. Something ancient and protective roared to life in Seojun's chest. You're not alone, your mama's here. And I... He hesitated, then decided on truth. I'm here too. Will you stay until the monsters go away? I'll stay as long as you need me. Seojun held Minho until he fell back asleep, humming a Korean lullaby his own mother once sang. When Zara emerged from the shower and found them, Seojun's tattooed arms wrapped protectively around their son. Her carefully constructed armor cracked. She didn't say anything, just stood in the doorway watching the man she'd once loved be the father she'd always wanted for Minho. Later, when Seojun tried to leave, Zara stopped him. Thank you, she said quietly, for being here tonight. I want to be here every night. Seojun's eyes were intense. I want to be the one who scares away his monsters. I want to teach him to ride a bike, to throw a punch, to be a man. Seojun, I know I have no right to ask. I know I destroyed us. But Zara, that boy in there, he's the best thing I never knew I created. And you? His voice dropped, vulnerable. You're the best thing I ever lost. Zara's breath hitched. Don't what? Tell you the truth? Seojun stepped closer, his presence overwhelming in the small space. I never stopped thinking about you. Not for a single day. I buried myself in work, in power, in everything that meant nothing. Because nothing means anything without you. You left me, Zara whispered, tears finally falling. You broke me. I know, and I'll spend the rest of my life making up for it. If you let me. For one heartbreaking moment, Zara leaned into him, letting herself remember what it felt like to be held by someone who knew every scar on her soul. Then she pulled away. I need time. We both do. I'll wait, Seojun promised. I'm not going anywhere, not ever again. The past came for Seojun on a Tuesday evening. He was at Zara's apartment helping Minho build a Lego tower when his phone rang. The ringtone, sharp, urgent, made his entire body tense. I have to take this, he said, stepping into the hallway. Zara watched through the crack in the door as his expression shifted from calm to lethal. His voice dropped to rapid Korean, harsh and commanding. The dragon tattoo on his neck seemed to pulse with menace. What do you mean they found him? Seojun hissed. I gave explicit orders. No, I'm in Chicago. Handle it. Permanently. A pause. I don't care what it takes. Eliminate the threat. Zara's blood ran cold. Eliminate. The word was clinical, detached. A reminder of exactly who Seojun was beneath the gentleness he showed Minho. When he returned, Zara was standing, arms crossed. What was that? She demanded quietly, nodding toward Minho still playing, oblivious. Business. Business? You ordered someone to be eliminated, Seojun. His jaw tightened. It's complicated. No, it's simple. You're still exactly who you were 5 years ago. A criminal. A killer. I never claimed to be anything else. And you want to be around my son? Zara's voice rose. You think I'm going to let a man who orders murders teach him about life? I'm protecting my organization, protecting what's mine. By killing people? Seojin's eyes flashed dangerously. You want the truth, Zara? Yes, I've killed. I've destroyed. I've done things that would haunt your dreams. But I did it to survive in a world you know nothing about. And I do it again to protect what matters. And what matters to you, Seojun? Power? Money? Your empire built on blood? You matter. The words exploded from him. You and Minho, why do you think I'm here? Why do you think I'm trying? Trying? You just ordered a hit while my son was in the next room. Mama? Minho's small voice cut through their fight. Why are you yelling? Zara's heart shattered. Baby, go to your room, please. But now, Minho. Minho's eyes filled with tears as he ran to his room, and the sound of his door slamming was deafening. Zara turned on Seojun, her voice deadly quiet. Get out. Zara! Get out. I was right about you. You'll never change. You'll never be safe. And I will never let you poison my son with your violence. He's my son, too. No, Zara said, tears streaming down her face. He's mine. And you're exactly what I feared. A monster in expensive clothes. We're done. Forever this time. The door slammed in Seojun's face, and the echo felt like the end of everything. For 3 days, Seojun sat in his hotel suite, staring at his phone. He'd sent texts, called, left voicemails, all ignored. His second-in-command called with updates about the organization. Seojun barely listened. Boss, we need you back in Seoul. The situation is escalating. Handle it. Boss? I said handle it. Seojun ended the call, pouring another glass of whiskey he wouldn't drink. The Empire. It had been everything. The reason he'd sacrificed Zara, the reason he'd become who he was. And now, it felt like dust. He pulled up a photo he'd secretly taken, Minho laughing in the park, pure and innocent. His son, his blood, his heart. What kind of man did he want to be? The one his uncle raised, powerful, feared, alone? Or the one Minho deserved, present, loving, real? The choice crystallized with brutal clarity. Seojun made a call. Hyung, it's me. I need you to do something. Zara hadn't slept in 3 days. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Seojun's face when she'd called him a monster. The hurt beneath the anger. The desperation in his eyes. Minho kept asking about Mr. Seojun. Is he coming back, Mama? I don't know, baby. Did I do something wrong? Is that why he left? Zara pulled Minho into her arms, crying into his hair. No, baby, never. You're perfect. This is grown-up stuff. But was it? Was she protecting Minho? Or punishing Seojun? Was her fear about safety, or was it about her own broken heart? That night, there was a knock at the door. Zara opened it to find Seojun, but different. His expensive suit was gone, replaced by simple jeans and a sweater. His eyes were red-rimmed, exhausted, but determined. I'm out, he said without preamble. What? The organization. I'm out. I called my brother, signed everything over to him. The empire, the power, all of it. It's done. Zara's world tilted. You can't just... I can. I did. Seojun's voice cracked. You were right. I was choosing violence over my son. Choosing power over you, again. And I can't do that. I won't. Seojun, I know it doesn't erase what I've done. I know I can't undo the past. But Zara, I'm choosing differently now. I'm choosing you. I'm choosing Minho. I'm choosing to be the man you both deserve, even if it takes me the rest of my life to become him. Tears streamed down Zara's face. How do I know you won't leave again when things get hard? Seojun dropped to his knees in front of her. Because I finally understand. Nothing is harder than living without you. 6 months later, the Chicago park was alive with spring blossoms and children's laughter. Daddy, push me higher! Minho shrieked from the swing, his voice pure joy. Higher? You sure, brave boy? Seojun laughed, giving the swing another push. I'm not scared. I'm brave like you and Mama. Zara watched from the picnic blanket, her hand resting on her slightly rounded belly, 3 months along with baby number 2. The smile on her face was something she never thought she'd wear again. Complete. Seojun had kept every promise. He'd left the criminal world, taken online business courses, and started a legitimate import company. He saw a therapist twice a week to process his violent past. He read parenting books. He learned to cook Zara's favorite meals. He showed up every single day, proving through actions what words could never convey. It hadn't been easy. There were nights Zara still woke up afraid he'd disappear. Moments when Seojun's old instincts flared, the dangerous edge in his eyes when someone looked at his family wrong. But they talked through it, fought through it, chose each other through it. Mama, look. Daddy says I'm strong enough to try the monkey bars, Minho called out. Be careful, baby. Seojun guided Minho carefully, his large hands supporting the small ones, his voice gentle with encouragement. That's it. One hand, then the other. I've got you. I won't let you fall. Watching him, Zara's heart swelled. This man who'd once ordered deaths without flinching now spent his evenings reading dinosaur books and singing lullabies. Who'd traded an empire for bedtime stories. Who'd chosen love over power. When Minho successfully crossed the monkey bars, Seojun swept him up in his arms, spinning him around as the boy squealed with delight. Then he walked back to Zara, Minho perched on his shoulders, both wearing matching grins. Did you see me, Mama? Did you see? I saw, baby. You were amazing. Seojun sat beside her, Minho climbing into his lap. His hand found Zara's, fingers intertwining. Thank you, he said quietly, his eyes holding hers. For giving me a second chance. For letting me be his father. For choosing to trust me again. Zara leaned her head on his shoulder. Thank you for becoming the man worth trusting. Minho looked up at them, his expression serious beyond his years. Are you two going to get married? Seojun and Zara looked at each other, and for the first time in years, the future didn't look broken. It looked beautiful. Maybe, Seojun said, kissing Zara's forehead. If your mama says yes? Minho pumped his fist. Say yes, Mama, say yes. Zara laughed through happy tears. Yes, always yes. In the park where fate had crashed their worlds together, love, abandoned once but never forgotten, finally found its way home. Did this story touch your heart? What would you have done in Zara's position? Drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more emotional love stories that prove second chances are real.